citizens time.
Yes, sir. All right, good evening. I'd like to call to order the regularly scheduled Wednesday, September 7th, Haymarket Planning Commission meeting. Roll call vote, please.
Here.
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 All right, if we could all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moment of silence, please. All right, thank you. You may be seated. All right, first up on the agenda for this evening is minutes approval. So if we could all take a minute or so and look at the regular meeting on August 10th, and then we had the meeting on August 31 for Dog's Day Out.
Pretty much run through these already.
All right, as you've looked over these, do you have any comments before we make a motion?
I had one comment. I know we talked, Sean talked about it would be a good idea to have a comp plan amendment for the Dog's Day Out because we're changing the land use. And I know Berkeley Group is working on both our comp plan and our zoning ordinance. So my question really is has the Berkeley Group been informed of the need to adjust that list of what's allowed in that zone for that?
I mentioned it to them. I will have to bring it up to them again.
Just so it would be one of the permissive uses, so we'd have it in the place in the zoning plan, and then also the comp plan will
Obviously,
align.
more definitively, it's one of those uses that was hard to
Right,
place, but a more definitive explanation, yes, we could do that.
great. Because I think then we would have sort of crossed our Ts and dotted our Is. And
Yes, ma'am.
That's a great point. All right, good. Any other comments? All right, we're going to take both of these at once if there are no other objections. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes for August 10th and August 31 as stated?
I'll move that we accept both minutes as they are written.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. All right, this time we have citizens' time. If any citizen would like to address the planning commission, please step to the podium, state your name and your address, and we would love to hear what you have to say. Mrs. Caldwell, would you like to say anything?
You're up.
Ma'am in the back, would you like to speak, or? All right, that's good. Good. All right, seeing none, we'll close citizens' time. All right, next up is a public hearing, special use permit number 2016-002, Zeppi LLC, 14830 Jordan Lane. So, Marchant, we'll let you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I've mentioned several times, we are looking to remove this as a special use permit in each of the residential districts. There's some pretty substantial performance standards governing how in-home occupations are occupied. Nonetheless, it's a standard we have today, and so they are asking, the applicant who's here this evening is asking for special exception approval to operate their in-home business. As I describe in the narrative, they do dog treats. You may be familiar with this couple. They have two large German Shepherds that are seen around town that walk through town quite frequently, but this is a home occupation for would you say dog treats, I guess? Dog treats. So hopefully their dogs won't eat most of the product. So, but I'd be happy to answer any questions. Test subjects. Yes.
All right, questions?
I had questions about how much meat do you bring in regularly? Because that would also connect to how much refuse you have.
Not much at all. It's a small business. It's usually about 20 to 30 pounds at the time of meat, no more than a bigger family than my own would eat. But yeah, not much.
And how about when it's processed? Are there smells associated with it? That would be in the neighborhood.
No, it's a very small production. It's not a factory or anything like that. There is the process. I have a dehydrator for the meat. It's a dehydrator about 2 feet wide and 3 feet high, and that's the meat goes into little sheets, and you put the sheets in the dehydrator, and it dehydrates for 6 hours. It's not even a commercial dehydrator. It's the same dehydrator some people would own in their homes. So no smell associated with that. Otherwise, my wife would be pretty upset.
And yeah, I'm not familiar with the dehydrator, so that's nice to know.
Right, yeah.
I can speak on behalf of dehydrator. I use dehydrator for deer jerky, and I have no smell coming out of mine.
And the meat that you said, the 20 to 30 pounds, does that get delivered by delivery truck, or do you go and purchase that and bring it home?
I go purchase it.
So there won't be any deliveries that would wake up neighbors or?
No.
Okay.
If we do deliveries, they would be within very reasonable working hours.
Excellent.
But if we do look into getting something a little more cheaper, if you will,
Right.
from a restaurant supply chain
Okay.
type, it will be delivered, but it will be within working hours. No late deliveries or early for that matter.
Okay, good.
So really, it wouldn't be any more than some people have regular meat deliveries by the local meat truck going through the neighborhood type of deal.
Very correct, yes.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, we do need to formally open the hearing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem.
All right, we will open the public hearing for special use permit number 2016-002, Zeppi LLC, 14830 Jordan Drive, and you have the document beginning on page number, page packet 9.
Just one friendly change, 14830 Jordan Lane.
Okay. Thank you.
I was just curious, in your documents, you said at one point you will be moving out of the home into business. Do you have any timeline for that? I'm just out of curiosity.
Quite honestly, if the business grows in 1 month, then I'll be moving in 1 month.
Wow.
If it doesn't grow for 6 months, then we'll probably stay in the house. It depends on the pace of growth.
Yeah.
And the appetite in the market that we'll see. But fingers crossed, we'll move very quickly.
How, excuse me, how will your product reach the marketplace?
Online.
Oh, I see.
It's all online.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So that
So
we
it should
who
be-
have dogs would be able to contact an order.
I'm sorry?
We who have dogs would be able to,
Absolutely. Actually, you who have dogs would probably get deliveries as well if you're in the local area.
okay.
Yeah.
Would it be stocked on local store shelves?
I'm sorry?
Would it be stocked to some degree?
Not initially, not until if it grows large enough, quick
Okay.
enough, then yes. But initially, it will be all online.
Okay.
Is the only point of sale initially. As long as we're operating at the house, it will be the only point of sale will be online.
And there are no other employees besides yourself and your spouse?
That's correct.
Mr. Chairman, I'm assuming there's no one here to speak for or against.
Doesn't look like it.
Just have
Right,
to
I
ask.
understand.
Yes.
We'll ask once he's done. Anything else, sir, that we would need to know that may be of significance other than the document you've produced?
No, none of this. If you have any questions for me, I'm ready to answer. But the document really covers almost everything. But if you find you want more information, just let me know. I'll answer it on the spot.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. All right, is anybody here that would like to speak for or against, please again come to the podium, state your name and your address. All right, seeing none, we will close that part. All right, looking at this over on the, just lost my page. Over on page 9, any other discussion amongst the commission before we see if somebody has a recommendation? Seems pretty straightforward.
I'll be happy
I
to
want
offer
to
a
clarify,
motion.
every day, how many pounds in the beginning meat will come in and go out?
So initially, it will be 30 pounds. We expect every about a week, not every day.
30 pounds.
If that increases, it wouldn't be more than 30 pounds a day because we can't. So at that level of growth, if it goes above 30 pounds a day, then that's when we'll probably look for a bigger facility outside of the house. But no more than 30 pounds a day of meat.
It really sounds like nothing more than the average family of 5 or 6 going to the grocery store and stocking the refrigerator. I mean,
Correct. Now,
aside from you coming here, we probably even know you were running the business, it sounds like.
you wouldn't.
All right.
You'll
I
hear
appreciate-
dogs barking. Zeus and Puppy, they will bark. Hence Zoopy, by the way.
Okay.
It's a combination of Zeus and Puppy, the names of my dogs. But
Well, we covered barking dogs last week.
I read.
Dogs bark.
Yes, they do.
Imagine that. All right, any other questions? Looks pretty straightforward. All right, thank you, sir. All right, do we have a motion to,
I will move that the Planning Commission recommend approval to the Town Council of Special Use Permit 2016-002, Supi LLC, for an in-home occupation at 14830 Jordan Lane, as described on the special use permit application and narrative pursuant to Section 5853, Number 6 of the zoning ordinance, and subject to the development standards of Section 58-16, home occupations.
all right, thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
I second.
All right, discussion. All right, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. All right, moving on, announcements. Does anybody have an announcement? All right, moving on from announcements. Do we have an ARB and a town council update, Mr. Leak?
ARB meeting was canceled on our August meeting, and our town council meeting that would have been yesterday was moved to tomorrow. So unfortunately, I don't have an update on either of those. Outside of that, as we were talking about earlier, Haymarket Day is coming along very quickly. We would love help from the Planning Commission as well as ARB and Town Council in regards to volunteers. If you have time that you can help volunteer, please reach out to Miss Denise Andrews. I'd love to invite everyone to our next event committee meeting, which is on the 13th next week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. here at Town Hall to discuss the final preparations for Haymarket Day.
And that's next Tuesday, the 13th,
Yes, sir.
at 2?
Yes, sir.
All right, I do have one question, and I don't know how much you can share or if you even know anything, but is there any update to the power lines with Dominion?
They're, the DVP is trying to rebut the commission's recommendation and stating that they didn't, it wasn't clear that they might have to actually help to subsidize and pay for the underground powering. So they're trying to bring it back to court again.
All right, so basically, they didn't get what they want, so now they're going to court to try to get what they want.
Sounds
It's
that way.
interesting. One of the things that I read stated from the SEC that the public input had much to do with their decision. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Did the SEC make a formal decision? No. So, do you think that, will the going back to court stop that? Does anybody yeah, we don't know.
We'll see. And the mere fact that they actually listen to the public is a start in the right direction.
It really is.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought they were just going to do what they wanted to do, and they may still end up doing it, but at least they're going to spend more money.
Right.
Exactly.
All right, well, good. That's good news. So once it goes to court, any sense of a timeline?
See, well, we've stalled them for how long now?
And hopefully we can
Continue.
continue. All right, that's good news. All right.
Connor, could you, do you know if the agenda for tomorrow night includes, for example, tonight's recommendation and motion?
For the special use permit? Sean, do we know if that?
No,
I don't
we
think-
needed to schedule a public hearing for the council as
Okay.
well.
And how about from last, August?
We weren't able to turn that around for tomorrow, but we'll get it on the agenda soon enough. You've already had your hearing, you just got to move it to the
Okay.
council.
That's just-
We got to translate their commitments into a proffer statement, and then we'll put it before the council. So,
So, sir, that'll probably happen in what, the October meeting of the town council?
yes, sir, if not before.
Because I know those folks have been waiting a long time.
Correct. I think they were pretty ecstatic. I talked to them afterward. They were pretty excited about the decision, the recommendation. So we'll keep moving forward.
All right, thank you. All right, going to new business, we've already covered the special use permit. All right, old business, Mr. Marchand, zoning ordinance rewrite and comp plan.
So I'll be handing that over to the planning consultant. Tomorrow night, the council will be reviewing, I guess, the contract terms of our contract planner from the Berkeley Group. This is an individual that's also doing work in Warrenton, and so they'll be taking over that and bringing it to you. The draft has been submitted, and they'll be bringing it to the commission probably in October. And I'll be with the planner, safely assuming that tomorrow night the council will support it. I'll be back in October with the new planner and be able to transition that over. So
Do we know where they stand on the zoning ordinance rewrite? Because we've been at this, I know they came, did our presentation, he gave us our homework packet, we did the homework packet.
Correct.
And then each month it just seems like we keep getting said, all right, he's looking at it.
No, I remember they provided us a draft. It was my ability to get through it and get it to you in that timeline and coordinating his schedule to come and speak with you. So it's not been his issue. He's given us the data. So the intent would be to bring in the draft to you next month to begin your deliberations on the new one.
Okay.
And the comment that Mrs. Carroll spoke on, that will be included in this?
Correct. I think there's going to be an interest in trying to co-process the two, the comp plans amendment with the zoning ordinance. As you know, taking your commissioner's course, the ideal situation is your zoning ordinance matches your land use plan.
Yes.
So there's some savings in having the planner also be our consultant on this, so they'll be able to do both.
And I know it's been a lot of work. I mean, over the last couple of years, there's been an inordinate amount of rewrites, and I would rather see us take our time and get it right than rush and have to go back and redo.
All the sign ordinance stuff is being rolled into it. That took a while.
Right.
But it's been more of a staffing issue on my side than it has been on the consultant side. So
And I've read something even recently where the courts are getting more involved in the sign ordinance, so even whatever we come up with could be amended in the near future.
Martin Krim, our town attorney, he's worked with Darren Coffey, the principal for Berkeley Group, and already made mention that they're likely to have to change that language again as part of the zoning ordinance rewrite. So no sooner have you approved that language, it's having to be amended again.
Because I know the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors just put out something in their monthly periodical about real estate signs in Fairfax County, which the state Supreme Court is already getting involved, so I don't think this sign ordinance is going to be nailed for quite some time.
In terms of ordinances and rewriting them, our barking ordinance probably needs some look over.
So there's the codified ordinance, which
Yeah.
is, zoning is only a chapter 58 of the codified ordinance, which covers all functions to include nuisances like dogs barking.
Right.
So, and interestingly enough, you don't have to have a public hearing to change your codified ordinance. So it's the mandate of the state that requires you to hold public hearings to change the zoning ordinance. It's not to say that you don't have hearings to have the public come out and speak, but if it's the council's prerogative to change chapters of the code, they can do that. And they don't even have to send it to you, they can do it on their own.
From what we were told last week by Chief Noble, it would seem that we need some legal assistance to word that correctly to meet court challenges.
Sounds likely, yes, ma'am. So, something to put on our new town manager list.
Yes. It's nice to be able to put on his list, sir.
Exactly.
All right, anything else going on that we would need to know? Chick-fil-A's up and running. I've heard complaints about traffic, but it seems like it's getting a little better.
If we can continue to put it out, it's going to be worse before it gets better. They're focusing now on the bridge deck. Once that's done, they'll begin the widening of the intersection here. You've already seen them starting to tear up some of the sidewalks. Columbia Gas and some other folks are out there starting to relocate utilities. So unfortunately, it's not going to be remedied anytime soon, probably in the next 12 months. So, other than that, Sheets, the site plan for Sheets is still moving forward. Trying to think what else you have outstanding. Tobaccology, we're waiting on comments back from VDOT. Baptist Church was approved by the council, or will be approved by the council tomorrow. Was it approved?
We
Not
approved it.
Yeah, they'll be approved tomorrow night. The Baptist Church will be approved tomorrow night. So things are rocking and rolling.
The next step in the facade for this building, is that the only thing left? Working on
Councilman Lee
this?
can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the decision was made to go ahead and fund both projects or try to move forward with both. I'm sorry. The plans for this, for the town center. The plans include facade improvements, the site planning. I'm not sure the priority, though.
Phased out in 3 projects. We're waiting on the final plans to come through on phase 3 of the entire project, and then looking at funding for the project.
Is there any estimated timeline for completion for that, or is that just too far out?
If you could write me a check, I will get it started tomorrow.
But he could write one.
Yes. Not going to help now.
It balanced, doesn't it? But was the priority the facade, or was the priority the site improvements? Tim? I don't.
To my knowledge of the facade.
That would be good.
Yes.
All right, sir, anything else going on?
No, sir, just October will likely be my last meeting, and I'll bring the, as I said, the new replacement in. Just be patient with them, but I am confident they'll be able to move quickly. It's kind of a hard pill to swallow that you weren't able to do everything that you wanted to do and get done, but I feel like I'm passing it off into some good hands. So,
With the blight ordinance next door, any movement on?
correct, we sent we did a photo inventory of all the buildings. The building official finished his inspection report. And there was the new town manager has stepped in as well and taking the lead on that. So there was 3 phases. There was the initial notice of the ordinance, and that we would be doing the inspections. We provided the inspections in the inventory. He is to respond, I think, by ordinance within a month or less. And if that, then the next step will be actually coming up with a specific plan on what the priorities for demolition, rehabilitation, and will be.
Excellent. Okay.
And I guess, last question I have, the relocating of these utilities that are still on half poles, et cetera, have you heard any on that?
No, it's just, and Dominion had always given this disclaimer that the utilities move at their own pace. I know Holly had gotten a similar question and gone back to the project manager at Dominion, who continues to ask about the vendors or the utilities moving, but we can't seem to get any solid commitment when they'll transfer them over. So,
All right, any further questions?
Do we hear anything about that property, the 120 townhouses coming in and that hotel
the
coming?
fairgrounds, that they're planning to resubmit this month, as a matter of fact. And that was, they reduced it down to 75 townhomes,
Oh, 75.
so we've been there.
And it's still Lidle. Lidle is still interested?
Yes. Lidl or Lidl, I always get it mixed up. I did want to mention to you, most of you have seen the work on Blight Drive at the moment with the new 2 houses. They look nice, how the landscaping's gone in. They are required by their plan to put the perimeter screening on the town side around the park. I've been contacted by the developer, Mike Gorman, and he anticipates planting that screen this fall. So hopefully that'll begin to improve. We're also continuing the momentum we have on improving. I would like to go to the public facilities. Is that the name of the group, the town group? Public Works? Okay. I do want to go to them and just make sure that they're on board with how we're planting. There's a new swale, a stormwater swale that was put in the back of the property. Just we want to make sure that the plan doesn't take out a lot of the trees that we had out there already, that we don't want to replace mature trees for new trees. So we just want to make sure we meet with the Public Works, make sure we're on the same page, do some notification. I may need your help, Mr. Chairman, on notifying all your neighbors and that they have a copy of what the plan is, so when people are out there moving dirt and putting plants in, they know about it. So
Do we intend to keep that giant magnolia? It's gorgeous.
exactly, that's what I'm concerned
Spectacular.
that we keep that and we not have someone inadvertently
Yeah.
say, well, I need to plant my 2-inch caliper versus my 50-year-old magnolia tree.
Yeah, that's-
Hopefully, the new owner, the new homeowner, it's entirely on our
Yes,
property, but
yes.
hopefully the new homeowner will embrace that and not want to take it out.
And that's going to be a 10-foot buffer.
So
back
it's 10
there.
foot wide. It'll be a series of understory trees, which are your lower canopy trees, some evergreens, and your canopy trees and some shrubs.
So they'll intersperse those with the mature trees that are already back there.
That's what we want to confirm with the developer. But that's as it stands right now, 10 foot wide, dispersed along the perimeter of both sides, the side along Blight and the side along Dogwood Park.
And that's going to happen this fall.
That's his intent. That's the message that
All
I
right,
got.
yeah, if you could just keep me posted on
Yes.
that, because I know my neighbors will be very interested in that.
2 of the houses are completely finished, it appears, and the 3 more, it doesn't appear there's any motion to start them. Are they waiting to sell the 2 before they begin the next?
I'll ask Mr. Gorman when I see him. I did notice the third lot in from Washington is saying coming soon.
Right.
I have not seen the zoning permit for that yet, but I believe that was the case they wanted to sell. That's not clear whether or not they're sold. Do you happen to know, Councilman Lee, if they've
I
been
don't.
sold?
I don't think they are.
Okay, because the for sale signs
How
came
much,
down.
how much they listed for?
Really? Okay.
Have to go in the MRIS to see what's going on.
Yep. They were in the 400s when they were listed on the website. They were in the 400s.
So I can check that out online.
This is totally off topic, but if you notice the bathroom, master bathroom has that large picture window that's muted. That's why you want to keep the magnolia tree. Otherwise, everyone going eastbound on Washington Street is going to see you taking a bath.
There's other reasons to keep the magnolia.
Yes.
I just got to ask.
Oh, yes, it's a very beautiful specimen tree,
It is
but
gorgeous.
also affords some privacy of that
Yes.
unit.
Plus, it's on our property. I don't know how they could, petition to. Why would they object? Why,
You never know.
yes.
Leaf petals falling on their property, you never know. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Have a great evening. And